Life is full of choices. Whether it's where to go, what to eat, or how to just have fun and relax. So join us as we discover all about loving life.
Okay, so when you're in the Outerbanks area, this is a place, well, it's not a place you have to come to, it's a must-see. My wife, Rose, used to come here years ago as a girl, and even as we got married, we came. And I'm with Mr. Green. Mr. Green, thank you for letting me be here with you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Now, you opened this when?
In 1967.
Wow.
So that makes us that we're in our 46th season now.
Now, you started as, I would imagine, a smaller little place.
Right. Down that way is the original building we started in. And it was pointed out to me back in 1953 by locals that it was the first cinder block flat-roofed house on Roanoke Island.
Really?
Now, to them, that was something very special.
Yeah.
Coming from a big city, I didn't realize the importance of it.
So, from that point on now, we've got 7 separate buildings.
That are all connected,
attached.
yes. That's the way we put them together. We just started out in the original building. Where we're sitting now is a building that we moved to the site. And then when we finally opened, we got a rather quick success. And as a result, we kept adding a building. And I never always kept the buildings attached completely. We would make a bridge to go over.
Sure.
And I felt that was a good fire safety precaution. And also, it seemed to work well. People didn't know they were leaving. Once they get inside, they don't know they're moving from one building.
It feels like you're in one house.
That's right, exactly, yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about you, because I love people who step out of the boat, decide to go in business, have a dream, and just keep building upon it. And you've been doing it for how long now?
We're in our 46th season.
Yeah.
But I had no training for business. I like to stress this when I tell people about it. I originally came to Roanoke Island from Manhattan. I didn't grow up there, but I was living there because I was in show business. When I got out of the Navy, I decided I would be a dancer. And that's what brought me to North Carolina, because I was hired by the choreographer to be in the Lost Colony.
Oh my.
And that was in 1953.
That is so cool.
And that year was the Andy Griffith's last year. That was my first. I did it in 1954 and developed such a love for the people, the environment, the history, everything about it.
Yeah.
And I often think back and say, where would I have been today if I had never found North Carolina?
Yeah. Well, and you say you don't have the business background. Sometimes the people with the big business education don't do as well in business as those people who don't.
Well, I have drive and energy, and that fared me greatly in the beginning. I never gave up the dream. I just wanted to be down here, and I gave everything to it, including my love of the beaches, because once we got successful, I never could go to the beach.
Yeah.
So it kind of boomeranged.
Well, listen, we're going to take a look around, see what you got. It is a gorgeous place.
Well, we like to tell people we're more than just a Christmas shop, which you will discover as we go through. And I want to tell you one more quick story. It's a joke on me, actually. When we decided to open this, Andy Griffith went around town telling everybody he thought I was making the mistake of my life. So every time he would come in, we would talk about it and laugh about it.
He's been wrong before.
Oh, I'm not out to prove that. But we had a long-time friendship, and I valued him very much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, great place to come. We're just going to take a walk around, see what's here.
Great.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay, I'm with my buddy, Diane being Diane. Thanks for letting me come and talk to you.
My pleasure.
Because you know the little Weir family love to cruise.
Yeah.
Love to cruise. So talk to me. There are a number of cruise places out there. I mean, you got Carnival, you got Disney.
Holland America, Azamar, Royal Caribbean, on and on and on. And then we talk about river cruising through Europe, which is another different type of cruising, but very active for 2014 and 15 in our office.
Wow. Really?
Yes. Their products are almost sold out for 2014.
Jeez.
So, you know, that would be like Amsterdam through the Rhine River,
Yeah.
Mosul, down into Budapest, and you actually can do a river cruise in Russian rivers, and oh, incredible. Anywhere in the world you can go pretty much on a cruise ship.
Can you go on the Neuse River?
Some people think they're cruising the Neuse, and they are.
So this is on a ship called the Carnival Dream.
Mm-hmm.
That looks fun.
Yeah. You know, the cruise ships have become so multi-generational that they tap on every age group. So most cruise lines require the children to be at least 6 months old or older, depending on where you're traveling. But I mean, you know, I've met people in their late 80s cruising. It's just a great way to vacation and get all the family together, just like what you're doing, you know. It's your time.
So we got a big, there's 12 of us all together. So when people talk about cruising, sometimes they think about the expense of it. And I think one of the best money for the dollar, what do you call it, value for the dollar here is Carnival. Mm-hmm. So we're cruising, we want to go December at Christmas.
Yeah. You know, the cruise lines know that these are the times that people are becoming very popular. It's becoming popular in their time schedules. Christmas, Easter, all through the summer. Prices are a little higher than if they were in September, October, January, February, March.
Right.
But Christmas is a time where family gets together. Sometimes it's really hard. They come from all over the world or all over the country, and they're pulling themselves together in one location. And then you have somebody that might be a picky eater, or somebody that doesn't maybe want to stay in this location, they want to stay in another location. So actually cruising takes care of all that, because they decide then what stateroom type they want. They decide on the dinner menu that they want out of the dinner. It's perfect.
I love cruising for that, because you have so many people, and Dad, I want to eat here, Grandpa, I want to eat here. Here it's kind of, you can eat anywhere, because I know on the Carnival Dream, there's Indian food, there's a little Indian restaurant, there's pizza, then of course the big buffets, and then the dining rooms. And
there's food 24/7.
There really is.
There is. Yeah. Room service starts my morning off. It
Really?
should start yours. Coffee, yes, I gotta have coffee before I motivate. So on the cruise ships, the night before there's a little menu. You stick it outside the door, and then there's a tap on the when it's right there. There's room service is delivering at the time you want it to be delivered.
Wow. And I'm telling you, there's shows you can go to, there's comedy clubs.
The kids programs,
Oh,
the
thank
late night
God.
babysitting.
Thank God for those children's programs.
I mean, they meet all kinds of kids from different parts of the world. How exciting is that alone? I mean, I've took my grandchildren on a couple, and they've met people, and they've written and pen pal.
Oh my God! Yeah, my son Tyler has friends from California and Texas and all over from the cruise.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, listen, you can go to these cruise websites and cruise critics and all that kind of stuff. And some people, talk blah 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 blah. Listen, these are incredible things. Just and if you want 10-star food, go to a 10-star restaurant. Don't expect that here, but it is absolutely fabulous food.
But some of their specialty restaurants is just like our local Angus barn food.
Yeah, and that's the steakhouse.
The steakhouses, yes.
Okay, now I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So you're going to help us put this together?
I would be glad to.
The dream for Christmas. Okay. keep watching the show because we're going on a cruise at Christmas. Diane, thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Always.
We'll be right back.
You're watching Loving Life, because life is worth loving.
Okay, so the Weir family getting ready to go on the Carnival Dream in December on the Christmas cruise. I'm with my buddy, Diane Bean. Thank you for letting me come and talk to you
It's
again.
our pleasure. Always.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
girl,
exciting.
Come on now.
Always exciting.
So we got to get ready to go on this cruise. What are some things that we need to do? Because there's people who are going to say, I want to go on a cruise too.
Well, I think packing is a good start. I mean, you need to make sure you have the sunscreen, the sunglasses, even the lip stuff, down to the lip stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know you probably have some sun worshipers there that are going to want to be out there on the pool. And so take care of yourself, number one, with the sun, because Caribbean sun is different sometimes, you know. Relaxed clothes, you know. Take some just kick around clothes that you can enjoy excursions on, and but take a nice shirt and tie too, because if you want to eat formally in the dining room, some of the cruise lines have that still in place. So,
No, but you want all those things, but you don't want to overpack either.
no, don't overpack.
Yeah.
We always do though, don't we, ladies? We do. I mean, we do.
Well, it's a genetic problem.
Yeah, but sometimes it's the glamour too. It's the art of cruising too.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose that.
Yeah.
You know, years ago when cruising first started, everybody, formal nights,
Tuxedos.
every night.
Wow.
So can you imagine the luggage that was
Yeah.
hauled on to some of those much smaller ships then?
Yeah.
But it was the art of cruising. And there's a flair for that.
Passports.
Definitely. Not required in a lot of instances, but we highly recommend from this office here that you travel with one.
So we're going to Belize, Mexico, Honduras. Do we need to have passports for that?
Not to do the cruise, if you leave from one port and return to the same port. If you want to go outside of the port area and you want to get into the deeper parts of the country for only a day, I don't suggest doing that,
Yeah.
but yes, you do need to.
But you should have one then.
It's highly recommended that you have a passport because you can't fly in and out of the United States, so if there was an emergency, you would have a little bit of problem getting back home. So it's highly recommended, and just like we discussed, it's also good that your travel agent have a copy of that passport.
Which is awesome. Now, let me ask you this, because there are some great places to eat on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But there are, let's say, because I have patients who are gluten intolerant. What do you do?
They have gluten-free menus now.
Wow.
Yes, the cruise lines have tuned in to all of the needs of whatever statistically they pull, and they found that, yes, they need to have a gluten-free menu. They need to have international menus as well. So they'll focus sometimes on an Indian cuisine or, you know, fish. There's always an option on one side of the menu of the daily menu that they have, and then the specialties for the night on the other side of the menu.
So when the menu, at night you're sitting there and the menu comes out and you've got steak, lobster, chicken, whatever, all these things here. I'll never forget one time we were cruising and I was sitting there and I just couldn't make up my mind.
They brought you several, didn't they?
He left, I thought I'd made him mad. He came back with one of everything.
Yes. Just so that you want to taste it.
Yeah.
You want to try it.
Great family thing to do, right?
Yes. I mean, the whole thing. It's not just, and it's I mean, there's more to cruising than just destinations. I mean, there's an art in cruising as well.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes along the way you learn to develop some of that. There's people that just love to go and just read a book alongside the pool. And that's their vacation. And that's what they love to do. It can be just about anything you want it to be. And pick the destinations you want to go to. And it's not just one. There's several when you choose a cruise. You can do anything around the world on a cruise ship these days. It's a big world.
I'm getting a hankering here. So right down here, Owen, right here, I want you to put Diane's website. Call her up. Take a chance. Go out and do a cruise, do something fun. get your family together, and if you can't afford the whole family, you and your husband or you and your wife, just go by yourself and do it. Join us for Christmas on the Carnival Dream. Diane, thank you so
My
much. You're
pleasure.
awesome.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay, stay tuned. Man, we got more coming along. Well, this morning we're excited to have as a guest Peggy Rose Newsom.
Correct. Nice to be here.
glad
My
you're
pleasure.
here.
Thank you.
Now, you have some incredible stuff here. I just found this the other day and I said, this lady's got to be on my show. Because you've got some different types of jellies that you've put together. And before we really get into that,
Okay.
how did you do this? How did you just...
Well, you know, a farm girl. My dad had produce. You don't throw anything away. And what you have, you put up. So I learned to make jellies very early.
Wow.
1976, while I was working at a private school, the girls said, why don't you make it, sell it in the lounge, we'll buy it. So I just charged what it took to make it, started selling it a little bit, giving it away. And for 35 years, that's what I did. And when people would give me peppers, I'd make it in the summer. If not, I'd make it for the holidays, kind of thing. And 1976, my son had grown up and my daughter hearing, someday I'm going to have my own little jelly company. And so he said to me, walked in the kitchen one day and said, Mom, now's the time. I'll help you. So we went back to North Carolina State University for an FDA course. We're going to do it right.
Yeah.
And we Goodness Grows and North Carolina Specialty Foods Grand Champion, blue ribbons along the way in those few years. And that was 2009. Not many people start a company in deep recession when they're 66.
You don't care, though.
I don't care. I'm good. I'm good. I've enjoyed it. What I say is let me pay the bills and enjoy the journey.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm doing. I love to have demos and let people come by and talk to me about it.
You know, so many times people have, well, I've got an idea and I want to do it, and in 6 weeks I want to be a millionaire.
Right, right.
Doesn't happen
What you
that way.
do is thrive, you survive and thrive, but you have to know yourself, I think. My little elementary advice would be to know yourself.
Yeah.
I know that I'm just a little, I'm not Kraft. I'm just a little jelly company, and I know where I want to sell. I go to the health part of it, or that people that appreciate my product.
Sure.
And I want to be their partner. I know I have a little tiny space on a little shelf that's maybe eye level, but I treat mine as important to me, and other people kind of get that message.
That's awesome. So a lot of times when people see jelly, they're thinking toast in the morning, but there's so much you can do it. Because I've been on your website and saw, man, there's some good looking stuff.
I want people to think of my product as an everyday gourmet with an everyday price that you can leave in your refrigerator door all the time, that you can put it in your pantry and have it for guests coming over, just like we have. Most of my customers will say, I'm going to eat it like this, but give me that chicken recipe in case I want to use it.
Sure.
We put it on, like in the microwave, with a little bit of olive oil, and whip it and put it on anything, like chicken breast, pork chop. My class at Southern Seasons, we had a roast pork, and that was just to die for. Everybody loved that.
Wow. Because we've done a roast pork recipe show. And if I would have known that.
There you go. Well, also remember like fish, cedar plank salmon off your grill, shrimp that you've cooked and just shake up in a bag with some of that jelly and pour it out on a white plate with toothpicks for a party, that kind of thing. Just think out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make fish taste so like it doesn't taste like fish? That's what's important to me.
Yeah, it gives it not the heat, but it fuses in the meat. Because of the jelly, it's even better than like a glaze, because it will go further into your meat. And just give it, it's not too hot, and it depends on if you want to use the red or the green.
Okay, I'm going to give you my cell phone before you leave. Next party you have.
We need to check on our little thing
We
here.
doing
Those
okay
are
there?
just right.
Okay. Can we try these?
Oh,
I mean, I've just been
please,
looking at these.
please.
So this is just cream cheese.
That is correct.
And you just put this right up here.
Brie is warmed. Brie is wonderful too, but the cream cheese is the most economical, and everybody uses that good old Southern style, traditional. And I have it all the time. They say to me, "Oh, this tastes like my grandmama's," or "This tastes like my
Wow.
big mama's," and that's a compliment.
Yeah, that's
kind of
how it
thing.
should be.
Yeah.
So now you said this is a little hotter.
Yes, that's a 7 or 8 out of that. Is it Scoville? Is that how you do the? Is that the levels that they measure heat index? Anyway, that's out of 1 to 10. That's a 7 or 8. Try it. See.
See, this show is not just about entertainment; it's education too.
Yeah, and of course those peppers are good for you. You don't get the bite right away. You've got a little sweetness, and then it hits. That's the way it's going to do on your veggies and your meats.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You want to try the green? That's the
I
sweet.
thought you'd never ask.
And of course, it's good with the nut and rice gluten-free crackers also, as well as just
Sure.
a regular butter cracker. No garlic, no onion, because that takes away from the dynamics that I've worked for. I know that sounds a little passionate about your product, but that's okay.
Now, one thing we talked about before, when you do this at home, see how she's got the cream cheese here and then the jelly to the side? That way, if not everybody's eating the whole jelly, you can put it back in the jar without a lot of cream cheese all over it. You see that?
Right,
Just slip that
that's
right back
good.
in there.
Also, this can be for...
Go ahead and talk while I'm eating.
Okay, I will. 6, I don't have a problem with that. 6 or over age limit. My grandchildren eat that with their grilled cheese sandwiches. And then you've got the hot lovers, and and it will be for everyone. You've got all your mass covered for your company.
That's amazing. Now, I should have grabbed this before I did this.
Okay, and our little recipe things are just right. Yeah, that's wonderful. And what we have done is taken our little pie shells that you can buy in the market. Specialty markets have them out on the floor, but the
That was
Health
noisy. wasn't it?
General, that's okay. The general grocery stores have them in the food section next to the pie crust, of course. And
They come
very
like this.
economical, and they're beautiful, yes. And what we did was just put them, like you've got some over there. I just dropped the cheese in there if you want just a little cube thing of cheese. And then we're going to put the pepper jelly on top, and I usually make
Now,
an array of like
but that's
some green,
after
some red.
it's melted. You put
Right
the
here.
pepper jelly.
That's correct. And then I'm going to put some almonds. Sprinkle my almonds on top. Yeah. And let you sample this. Now I'm going to use the old hand.
This is
here.
great for parties. Great for.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful for parties. And it's so easy. I've already done the work for you, done the color for you without artificial colorings, without artificial flavorings. My product you can read. I love for people to read my ingredients. Simple as you can get. And it only has like fruit pectin, like helped my big mama and my mama make it.
You don't need a dictionary to read your label.
That is correct. You might need some little reading glasses, but otherwise you're fine. And then I have my nutritional, and this is what I love, is my legend tells you when I started, and goodness grows, I'm certified through the agricultural department.
I'm certified through certain hospitals here, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So, in North Carolina, you can go to Whole Foods Market.
That is correct, all the way to Columbia, South Carolina.
Southern
Seasons in Chapel Hill. If you do not know that store, you need to take off and go over there for a whole day with your friends. It's beautiful. And they have it in their baskets, they have it in their catalog, and they have it in the weather vane on the menu with pimented cheese fritters to die for.
And of course, our friends at Main Street Grill have it now too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Tom has been very good to me, and that's a beautiful place. Oh, aren't those desserts wonderful?
Sell my clothes, I'm going to heaven. So another thing you can do is, because if you don't live in North Carolina, but you want to try this, if you're in California or Alaska or wherever you're watching this show, go online.
That is correct. And through Southern Seasons, they ship out, sometimes it's free shipping. Yep, and we have Earth Fair, wherever you are, and a lot of gourmet stores, but they're mostly in North Carolina.
It was awesome to have you here today.
Thank you. I
Thank you for
appreciate
being
it.
with me.
I
Awesome to
enjoyed
meet
it.
you. Stay right where you're at. Go get some of this. You're going to really love it. I love it. And we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Tom Halleck from the Main Street Grill in Wake Forest, North Carolina, and you're watching Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir.
I love coming to these art shows like this because there are people buying things even for Christmas, for different gifts, and oh my God. Santa?
Hi.
I'm Dr. Weir. Good to meet you.
Dr. Weir, so pleased to meet. I've heard so much about you.
Well, has it been good?
and your fine show, yes.
Has it been good? Good
Oh,
things?
it's pretty good. You're on my list.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're in Raleigh
Yes.
this time of the year,
Yes.
and this is what you do.
I shop. The elves can't make everything now. This world is getting so much bigger. So I have to do some shopping.
Good place to do it here.
And I love to shop at art shows because it's a gift for the artists, starving artists. And it's a gift to the receiver. It's a gift.
It's a win-win all the way around.
Win-win all the way around, absolutely.
So
Mr.
you're
Weir.
known in Raleigh as Santa Pete.
Santa Pete, yes.
And you go all over. I mean, you're...
I go over, I've got appointments down at Camp Lejeune and Fort Bragg, Winterfest downtown Raleigh on the 7th, Winterland there with the ice rink opening up and everything.
Wow.
I Triangle Mothers of Twins and Triplets. That is such a joy.
They deserve a Christmas present after that.
You know, the ones you think you're talking to one 2 or 3 times, and it's a different one. It's wonderful.
I love what you do, and you love what you do, and that's what life
I
is all
have
about,
so much fun.
isn't it? That is so cool.
It warms the cockles of me heart.
I know what you mean. Listen,
Yes.
this is what life is all about, doing what you love, loving what you do.
And Dr. Weir, you must love what you
I
do too.
I do. We're in this
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
Santa.
you can't stop doing it.
No, you can't.
You just can't.
So go to his website, check him out. You might want to have him come to your thing, Majiggy
Santa
Bobby.
Raleigh. SantaRaleigh.com.
I love it. Thank you for letting me be with
Bless
you.
your heart, lad.
Ah, thank
Keep
you.
up the
Thank
good
you,
work.
Santa. Don't change your channel. We're going to be right back. So we're going to Mexico. We're going to Belize. We're going to the Honduras.
Is that my perfume? I'm sorry.
No, I just swallowed it. Is there medical care on it?